What's going on, world? That's my catch, like my opening for my old show. We used to
Hmm.
do, well, they still do it, Humble Kings radio show.
Hmm.
And I don't know, it just like it feels
It sets
right.
you in the mood. It's the right thing. I mean, it sets you. It's. Have you ever heard of routines or what's it called, like rhythms? It's a
Okay.
thing sports players do. Like sometimes before, like famous soccer players, they do something that gets them in the right mindset.
Like a mantra,
Yeah, like any sort of physical movement, a ritual is what it's
a
called.
ritual.
A
Okay.
ritual. So actually, there was an anime episode on this, but it's basically a lot of sports players do it, performers do it. Anyone who performs on a big stage and needs to like get their mind ready, they do a ritual. And the way you build it is by doing something while you're calm, and it gets you set in the mood. And then when you're in the moment of nervousness, just do the
Just go
same
back to that
action,
ritual.
same movement, whatever it
Okay.
is. And so for me, I did it. I would do whenever I was relaxed. I would just do this. I would do the little Naruto hand signs every time, fire style. And then finally, during the bar exam, I finally used it. In the
Nice.
middle of the exam, I went to the bathroom and I'm in the mirror going, lock in, lock in. And I go back and I killed it.
That's awesome.
It really worked and it made me so happy. So now, from now on, if you see me on stage getting ready for the open mic doing this, you'll know what I'm doing. If I see a big crowd in there and I'm doing that, you'll know what I'm doing.
That's cool. That's cool. I'm GT. This is Jacob. We're back with part two of his episode. Bobby's not here with us today, but the good times keep rolling. You've been having a great day. Your day's getting better and better and better, and I hope that it continues to get better. But yeah, Jacob, dude, I'm so glad that you came to open mic for
Oh
one,
yeah.
but also that you filled out the guest form.
Yeah.
So I don't know if I told you this, but I had been sending that guest form to people that I had already booked for the show,
Hmm.
but I have it on the QR code on the link tree,
Hmm.
and you're the first person that like filled it out that I had like no idea. I saw your name on there. I was like, who is this Jacob?
I thought I had to for the open mic, dude. I was so nervous. I was like so prepared. I was like, the thing said get there at 4:30 because signups fill up. It'll be full by 5. So I got there at 4:30 and no one else showed up till 7.
That is hilarious. I was talking to the team and I was like, did anybody like refer a Jacob? And they're like, no, I don't know who this is. And then it hit me like your third time at the open mic. I was like, that's Jacob. That's him. We gotta get him on the podcast. I'm so
Finally, put 3 weeks,
It took
3 months
time.
later.
I'm sorry. I think it's the last name. I didn't know your last name.
No, you're
That's all
good. I
right.
didn't even realize it until you messaged me. Hey, want to go for the podcast? I was like, oh my god, they're the same thing. I saw more than lyrics on the thing in the back, and that's what I put it together. I was like, that's what that was for.
Yeah, that's funny. And it's not. It doesn't say like podcast. It just says
No,
guest registration.
it just says like a small community. I thought it was just for the open mic, man.
That's hilarious. Dang, you said something. You said it a couple times that I wanted to circle back on
Hmm.
with the the open mic.
Yeah.
So this thing happens every time. First off, like somehow there was a miscommunication between me and the graphics girl,
Hmm.
Savannah. Hi, Savannah. Uh, somehow like we were supposed to start the open mic. I think it was like supposed to be like 7 to 9
Hmm.
is what it was last year, and so I think now it's like 6 to 9.
Yeah.
And like I work and have to pick up kids and getting down to Sozo by I have to get there like 5 o'clock
Hmm.
to set everything up and get ready for the show. Which Steven being there is a huge help, huge relief.
Hmm.
He's so helpful, man. I love that dude. But I've been tempted. Maybe it was 6:30. It's supposed to start. I've been tempted to like where I was the first time. Like, hey, we say we start at 6. Or really, it's like 6:30, which we really don't start like the acts until like 6:30
Yeah.
because people are always late.
Well, see,
So I'm so frustrated.
here's what I'm thinking. If it makes you feel better, first off, that extra hour is actually monumentally helpful for the whole timeline. I think so.
Let's hear it.
Yeah, and so I would say what I would do is make it either if you're not gonna if 6 to 9, make it like 7 to 10,
Hmm.
because like you said, they all show up a lot later,
Hmm.
and most of the open mics like around the city, because oddly enough, Omaha's a really good open mic scene, and a lot
You
of
on the Facebook page?
Oh yeah. I
all
saw
boys.
it. Yeah, so I went to for the first time ever. I went to another one again last week. A lot of firsts this week.
Oh, that's crazy.
And I went to it was the one at the Shakedown.
Okay.
And yeah, this girl Spider something she runs it, and she's really
Spider
cool.
Cat?
Yeah, Spider Cat runs
Yep.
it, and she's super cool. She's really sweet. And there's also a similar chill vibe, whatever. And it was a lot more chill than I thought it would be. Because the sign up list was like 20 people, dude. I was like, I thought this place was gonna be packed.
Yeah.
But yeah, some people either won't show up or they'll show up late, and they're always running behind.
They take registrations ahead of time, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, we did that for a while, and then people like wouldn't show up for the time that they signed up for, or showed up late. So I'm like, we're just gonna take signups at the door.
Yeah. So that also is a good solution. But what I think is because most people, like you said, like it's the third Friday of each month, right? So people often they'll get home after work, they'll relax, they'll shower, they'll eat dinner, and then they'll hit the town. So it's
Yeah,
usually
that
around
makes
7
sense.
that they're getting back out. Which is why that first time when we met, I was really happy I showed up so early because by 9 o'clock, half the city walked into this coffee house.
Right.
Everybody had a guitar with them. Me and my friends were looking at each other and I was like, thank God I went before it got so packed in here because it didn't go well. That first performance when I was doing Blackbird, it didn't go well. And I'm glad there was only like 8 people to see it.
Yeah.
Because the second song went okay. And I found my rhythm. But the more I do it, again, you know you're going to stumble, you know you're going to fail. Same thing we talked about during the last episode.
Absolutely.
And that first, I just had to get out of the way. I knew it wasn't going to go well, and I gave it everything I had, and I learned a lot just in that moment. Like, for example, I was playing Blackbird. I had to look down at my guitar because I'm flying up and down the neck. I'd never used a mic before. If I turn my head away from the mic, guess
You're
what
not
happens?
talking into the
My
microphone.
voice fades out. Like, I faded out like I was doing an intro and outro. Like, whoa. I was like, and I heard it, and I was like, oh my God, I can't keep my head. But then I had to look at my neck, and then I had to keep going. So
yeah,
stuff like that. Like I learned a lot just doing that first performance and messing up.
that's good.
So even just the screw ups, I learned. I mean, you learn more from failure than you do from success. So
Absolutely.
yeah,
Yeah. I think that's a good point, and I'm glad you put in that perspective because I never really thought about that. It's a Friday. We do start kind of early. It never fails. Like we always in the show, there's more people that want to sign up, and I'm like turning people away because I gotta get my kids home. I have my kids like most Fridays. At least Lyric, she's with me just about every Friday. Lyric was actually on a podcast episode.
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome.
That one was silly because she didn't want to talk, but she was here. But yeah, so that's it is what it is. You know,
Yeah.
we work with it, and it also like I'm a big fan of scarcity. That like maybe it's forced scarcity, but like we're only here for this amount of time, and if you want to sign up, get here and
Yeah.
sign up.
Yeah,
Even if you have to leave, like get here and sign up.
yeah, yeah. No, I literally left work early that first time to get there at 4:30. Like I got to work early so I could leave early and get there.
Dang.
And I was like, but yeah, I would say if you can manage it, 7 to 10 would probably be your optimal window for most people. But obviously, how old is Eric?
She's 7.
7. Okay.
Yeah.
What was my bedtime when I was 7 was probably like 8:30, 9:30.
Yeah.
So I get what you're saying. As a
Yeah.
parent, you got to be responsible.
I do let them stay up late on Fridays, so that might be something that we can do. I still want to get them home, excuse me, at a decent time,
Yeah.
especially being downtown. Yeah, that's something I can
Something to
can
consider. Yeah.
play around with. Another thing I've thought about is going to doing the open mic bi-weekly.
I mean, I'd be there every time. So
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. I just again, I have like 1,000 projects,
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
I don't know.
You're only human. You got to make sure to work within your bandwidth, and then if you stretch yourself too thin, things start falling through, and you don't want that.
Yeah. So you mentioned a couple times you're a lawyer, and then I did want to talk about your transplant to Omaha.
Oh yeah.
So how long have you been in Omaha?
I moved here in October, so it's been October, November, December, January. It's been about 7 months now.
Okay. You moved
And
here for work?
yeah, you want the story on how it happened? Is
Yeah,
that right?
let's hear
Okay.
it.
So I was when I was in law school, I was on a journal, the Law of Technology, JOLT at Texas, Journal of Law and Technology, and we had a guy, social media guy, who just sent an email blast every 2 weeks, and I was the submissions editor, so I had to like go through like articles from professors and stuff and be like, yeah, we'll put this, we won't put that, whatever, and our social media guy sent an email one week that had this job posting on it for a place in Omaha, Nebraska. I'd never been anywhere in the Midwest. And I was like, you know, I don't really have anything I'm doing this summer. And I'd spent the last summer working at the Beverly Hills Courthouse for one of the most spectacular men I've ever known. One of my favorite people, my judge. He was an awesome guy, Judge David Cowan. He actually was the one who swore me in. When I graduated and I passed the bar, I asked him to swear me in.
Wow.
And so I went to his courthouse and he's the one that swore me in and my parents were there. It was really meaningful for me.
That's awesome.
Yeah. But I'd worked that first summer, and while I loved the man, it was also an unpaid internship, and I drove an hour and a half to and from Beverly Hills every day.
Wow.
So it was tough. So that second summer, I was like, I think I want to do something that actually, you know, I make something out of it. So I sent the job post, I sent my resume, and I'd sent my resume to all the big law places, you know what I mean? And it was nothing. And I wasn't like, I had good grades. I wasn't top of my class, but it's a top school. It's one of the best schools in the country. And so it was surprising for me, my results I was getting. And then they hit me back and they were like, let's have an interview. And so Zoom interview, 20 minutes. And usually I wait 2 weeks and I get a rejection from some big law firm or somebody. Less than 2 minutes later, the guy's like, we want to fly you out for a second interview. I was like, fly me out?
Okay.
Like, are we serious? And so it was October, actually. And so it was my 2L year. And so I left, flew out. They flew me out of Austin into Omaha. Next morning, they put me at like a really nice hotel downtown. I had like a top room. And they were like, you know, if you want to grab snacks, go for it. They had a credit card on file. I didn't. I felt like I was going to take advantage, but I was like, I could just get stuff right now. I was like, what is going on? And so they took me out for the thing the next morning. I met the guy. His name was Jeff. And we ended up a really great interview. And then like 10 minutes in the interview, he goes, by the way, I'm going to give you the full offer. So you can take it if you want. Take your time, think about it. And I took about 10 seconds to think about it. And I was like, I'm taking it. He was like, all right. So he's like, great, good deal. So I walked around the office. I met everyone. They took me out to lunch at the Drover. I got a whiskey fried steak and flew back to Austin. Small detail. I couldn't even finish. I was hungry and I barely ate half that steak.
Yeah.
Steak and fries. Obviously, I'm not going to waste food.
Right.
I tell him, put in the case. Dude, I get one thing about the Omaha airport, nobody there. Like, it's so easy to get through. I look at the guy, the security guard, I put the steak on the conveyor belt. He scans it. He looks at the thing. He looks at me. He goes, you know what? This isn't the first time this has happened. So now I take the 3-hour flight back into Austin. My roommate picks me up. He goes, what is that? And because it was just my backpack and I had this white case I didn't have before. You know, that styrofoam thing they give you for food? And I was like, you'll see. I put it in the fridge. He's like, what are you brought food back? And I was like, you'll see. Next morning, he wakes up, I'm in the kitchen cutting steak and eggs. He's like, you brought a steak back? I was like, dude, it's so good. Best breakfast I had. And so that was how I first got introduced to Omaha. That summer I came out here, I worked after the 2L year, and I drove just straight up from Austin.
Wow.
And 14 hours. Time of my life. That was probably the second best summer of my whole life.
Okay.
I made more friends in those 2 months than I did my first 2 years in law school.
Oh, wow.
It really says something.
Right.
And about the people here.
There's like a small town feel in Omaha. Like, people are really hospitable and very friendly.
Yeah, and they were not that way in Austin, Texas. I'll tell you that right now. And my roommate had to convince me of it because he's from Dallas. And he was like, dude, Southern hospitality is a thing. I promise you, it's just not in Austin. I was like, if you say so. But yeah, so I came back. And when I came back to law school after that summer, it was like a veil had lifted. Like, it was really what put me on the track to you and me talking right now, actually. Because at that moment, I realized, oh my God, I haven't really been honest with myself. That summer really changed me a lot because when I realized I'd made so many friends in those 2 months and like connections that meant a lot to me, I came back to Austin and I looked back at my classmates and I was like, wow, it's not me. You guys just suck. Like, I'm sorry, but like, dude, if people's personalities were spices, you got some paprika, some pepper. These guys were just flour. Like, they were the most bland, plain, tasteless, spineless, insipid people. And I was like, and I made 2 really good friends. They're like my brothers. I really love them. And I still talk to them. I was texting them earlier today. But outside of some of those guys, I have a group chat with like some of the really cool people I met.
Right.
Outside of that, it was, I didn't realize, because for the first 2 years, I was like, what am I doing wrong? Like, I was working so hard and I was struggling to make friends to live. To be honest with you, that first semester was the hardest 6 months of my whole life. Jeez. And I'm saying that heartily, like seriously. But I think most of it, to be honest, 30 to 40% of it was law school. The rest of it was stuff I did to myself. And I was learning. It was a very transformative semester as well. But finally, when I came back for that third year, I was changed. And I was like, you know what? It's time to do something different. And instead, when I first got to Austin, I bought a guitar. I don't know why. I hadn't touched a guitar in years. But I bought a guitar from some guy on Facebook Marketplace who had a shed full of old guitars. And I don't know what possessed me to do it. I really don't. It's something in me was speaking that I wasn't listening to at the time. And so it sat in my room for 2 years collecting dust.
Yeah.
I came back that third year, and for some reason I looked at it, and I just grabbed it and I took it with me. I decided, you know what? Enough spending 8 hours a day in the library doing nothing, because it clearly wasn't working. I was studying all day, it wasn't working. I went to Blanco State Park, and I just sat there, played, relaxed, had a steak, had a coffee. Completely different mindset. Suddenly I was, for the first time in a long time, I was living. I was making things. The next day wasn't bleeding into the next. I was making memories I didn't want to forget. And I think that's apparently, according to a lot of psychiatrics, what causes depression is the human mind is geared for new experiences and to learn.
Okay.
So when you do the same thing over and over every day, it's tossing those out because it doesn't need them. You know, it's seen that same wall 30 times. It doesn't need it. It's seen that same behavior. It's seen that same action. It's seen that same street every time. It's not remembering it again because it already has it locked in.
Yeah.
So when you keep doing the same thing every day, the days bleed into each other, and that's kind of what causes depression, because you don't feel like you're doing anything. You kind of forget that you're living. And so I sat in that library for so long that I felt that way. And I was like, you know what, I'm done. And I took, I'd sit down and I'd make new experiences. I'd take my guitar, I'd sit down at a park under a willow tree, jump in the river, have a good time. There are watering holes all around Texas. And for the first time, I was like, oh my God, Austin's not a terrible place.
Man.
For the first 2 years, I thought Austin was the worst city in America. And I realized it was just me, man. Like, I came back that third year, and to be fair, I did get 2 cracked rims in that city. Those roads were terrible. But besides that, I ended up enjoying my final year of law school.
That's good.
And I finally ended up enjoying my life a little bit. And it was because I began being more honest with myself. And so a couple months into that January is when I started the BGA program, was when I really started pouring everything into guitar.
Okay.
That was when it happened. After that summer in Omaha, when I came back and I changed, and over the course of months, I went fly fishing with one of those buddies. Never done that before.
Right.
I was like, what? Who cares, dude? Just have fun. Like, I was living for the first time in so long. And I was so happy he brought me. We were 40 minutes out of Austin, wading through some river in boots, and I'm fly fishing. I'm not even sure what I'm supposed to catch. I catch a fish, it's like this big. I got a photo on my Instagram of me flexing with this tiny fish. And so I was happy. And I was not happy because obviously I still have stress and law school and whatever. I was joyous.
Nice.
For the first time in a long time, I was looking forward to the next day.
Right.
And it completely changed everything. And I realized I can't go back. So that's when I started being more honest with myself. And as that honesty grew, I began realizing music is something I've been wanting to do for a long time. And I was finally able to admit it to myself. I had to get to the place where I was able to admit it to myself. And when that happened, voila, I was good to go. And that's why, that's how I ended up practicing enough to show up at an open mic night and meet you.
I'm glad you did.
Yeah.
That's really inspiring. I think that a lot of people can relate to that. At least I hope, if people are being honest with themselves. I remember when I was in college and I kind of hit that realization of most adults, their life is go to work, come home, watching TV, have dinner, go to sleep, wake up, go to work. It's the same thing over and over again. I'm like, I don't want my life to be that.
That's not living.
No.
That's just doing the job. That's just going through the motions. You're not really living, but it's what they want you to do. I mean, to be honest, it's kind of what they want from you. They don't want independent thinkers. This country doesn't want independent thinkers. They want people to do what they're supposed to do, and that's it. You get the bare minimum resources you need to do your job, and that's all we want from you. We take the rest. So there's some guys at the top who take everything else, and to the masses, to the little guys like you and me down here, you guys just get what you need, and that's it. And that's just, and a lot of people fall into it's very easy. Because as long as they give you enough food, enough water, enough shelter, enough entertainment, same thing from the Roman Empire, bread and circus. As long as they give you enough to distract you just enough that you don't notice that your life's going by, it's okay. They're getting what they need out of you. But if you wake up and you notice, and that was what happened to me. I woke up that summer spending it here in Omaha, and I noticed, and it changed everything. I since then, past year and a half, 2 years now, has been very transformative for me.
I don't know, man. I guess a good steak will do that.
Yeah. Honestly, yeah, dude, factory reset, man. Spend a couple weeks in a river and eat a steak and everything changes. Go back to being like a human being. Like if you spend a week away from a screen and you're like in the woods or something and you don't hear cars, you just hear birds. You know, if you spend like a week in Yosemite or something, go to a national park. Just go to a national park, spend a week. Just, you know, doing whatever. Factory reset. It literally resets you as a human being. Like you go back to realizing how humans were supposed to live. You know, we have brains made for like foresting berries, you know, and harvesting chestnuts. We don't have brains meant to stare at Microsoft Excel all day. Right. Sorry, it's just what it is. Like I'm an attorney, but I'll be honest. Like it's just what it is. Like it astounds me. Like I'll look out at Half Point or Half Dome, you know, in Yosemite. And I looked at my friend because he was actually with me, one of the ones from Texas. He flew to California and we took a bar trip together. And I took him to Yosemite. And I looked at him and I said, you know, someone looked at this and said, you know what this world needs? Microsoft Teams, bro. I was like, oh, how do you come up with that with this in front of you?
Man. There's somewhere I want to show you. I don't remember the name of the park, but have you been there? I know it's out north of town, and
Loess Hills?
It's like way up. There's no, I don't think so. I don't think it's Loess Hills. I'm gonna look it up and I'm gonna find it. I'm gonna let you know.
Yeah, please do.
There's like one of the most beautiful views that I've seen in Omaha, or I guess just outside of Omaha. It's a ridge just overlooking like just a large prairie.
Oh,
it's so beautiful.
Yeah, send me that location. I'm gonna be there because that's what I do most weekends. Like I went to Platte River State Park. I've been to Mahoney State Park. I go every Sunday is like every weekend is my exploration time.
Nice.
I'll go if I'm not doing, you know, the performance in Ashland, which again was its own amazing day and its own exploration. I mean, I got paid to be outside. That's bliss, to be honest. Yeah, interacting with people.
Huge.
I was getting paid to do something I would be doing for free anyway.
Right.
Like, I mean, I would be on the street in Old Market just playing anyway. Like, so anything to be outside, anything to just not stare at a screen and all that, yeah, I'll be there. Like, send me the location, I'll be there.
I love your resets. I think that's something that I want to be more intentional about. I've been kind of in this hole of work, like just this grind, right? I'm in a season of grinding, and I have to, kind of.
Yeah.
I have to. One, I do not do well, like just being stagnant. If I don't have something to do, I get myself in trouble. So it's better for me to like work and be productive when I have free time. But I just kind of have gotten into this cycle of like I'm working or I'm with my kids.
Yeah.
Or I'm trying to relax when I have downtime.
Yeah.
But like to take a week off to just go and reset.
Yeah.
The way you said that, I love that. Or even just a day out of the week, or you know, once a month or something, where I'm just intentionally got nothing to do, nowhere to be.
That's the word right there, intentionally.
Intentional.
That's the hard part, because you have to be intentional about it. Because like you and me, I'm the same way. I mean, I spent years high-strung studying 8 hours a day, whatever.
Yeah.
And when I'm not doing that, I literally fell apart. I had a whole mental breakdown. My dad had to sit down, help me out. And he was like, that was actually, I spent a month touring Europe, just me in a backpack, right before law school started.
Oh, wow.
For that exact reason, because I had completely broken down. I had a huge like breakdown, and he came into my room. I cried into his shoulder for like 3 hours. And finally, or not 3 hours, 30 minutes. I ran out of tears. But the conversation lasted about 3 hours. And we were, it's like 2 a.m. He's in my room, and we were just talking. He's like, what could possibly be causing this? Because there was no reason. It was like my final semester of college. I'd finished the LSAT, and that was what it was. The LSAT was probably the best part of my whole, like one of my favorite points in my life was the LSAT.
Studying for it?
Yeah. And people don't understand why. And I tell them, well, here's the thing. I woke up, I promised myself, because to be honest with you, actually, I'll point this out. So on my guitar case, I have a pin from every national park I've been to.
Nice.
Yeah, it's something I like to do. I got Yosemite, Zion, Sequoia, Kings Canyon, and then Black Hills National Forest. Those are the ones I've been to so far. But I hope to get them all eventually.
Yeah.
But
Do it.
back to the LSAT. You seen My Hero Academia? Or your daughter maybe?
My daughter loves it.
Oh, it's a great show.
She wrote a song about it.
Oh, that's right. I heard her perform it. That's
Yeah.
right. I watched that. I was there for that. I was in the back. I was getting so. My friends are all looking at me. They were like, "What are you doing?" I was like, "You guys don't understand. This is
Don't understand.
so real right now." But no, honestly, there's a moment in that show where one of the characters, he's the symbol of peace for the whole country.
Okay.
And so his mere presence is so strong, it keeps crime rates down. So he tells like this main villain, he's basically almost killed him at this point. The main villain's almost killed this guy. And he's like, in my heart, I'm the symbol of peace. And there's nothing you can do to take that from me. And when I was studying for the LSAT, I told you how I went to Point Doom and I sat down and I really mapped out why I had to do this, 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. I think I talked about that last episode. I sat down, that was the first time I did that. I had to sit down and I thought, because 7 Habits of Highly Effective People said, before you start anything, you got to think about why you're doing it. And so I sat down with that book next to me and an open journal, blank journal, and I wrote down, I spent like 3-4 hours up there. I got hungry, I was starving by the end of it, because I'm just a hungry guy. But I spent hours up there thinking about if I'm going to do this, because I hadn't started studying for it yet, but I said, if I'm really going to do this, I have to come up with a good reason why. I can't just half go at it, you know? And I ended up writing a lot. I ended up writing a lot more than I thought I would. And 4 hours later, I went to Islands, got a burger, came home. And the next day, I started planning everything out. And about a month later, it started. I'd wake up at 5 a.m. I would do a morning routine. It would be a green tea, oatmeal with chia seeds, flax seeds, and cranberries, vitamin B12, and chia seeds, omega-3s for your brain, and walnuts to help me study. That'd be my breakfast. I'd sit down. I'd study from 6 to noon. And this was during COVID, so I had COVID University at the same time. My college had me, do my classes online. Okay. So those were basically my breaks. Whenever I had a class, I would take a break. I would post up outside in my backyard with my laptop. I'd watch the class, because I'll be honest, my college was ridiculously easy. These people were inane. And I would go, I remember one time, it was pre-calc actually, I was in the pool, and I felt so bad because no one else would answer questions. So I'm sitting there, and no one else had their camera on either. So I always felt so bad for the teacher. I'd always have my camera on, and I'd always be answering questions.
Yeah.
So one time, I'm literally swimming laps, and no one's answering the question. I press the space bar, I go, that's the answer. She goes, thank you, Jacob. And I keep going, I'm like taking notes at the same time, right? But I'm in the pool, I'm chilling. Later, I get an email that says, thank you so much for class participation, as always. Just please have a shirt on next time.
That is.
I was like, all right, fair enough. I might have been a bit too far with the shirtless thing, but otherwise.
You see the time?
Oh my God, we're out of time.
Yeah, we're out of time. If you guys want to get more Jacob, come to More Than Lyrics Open Mic. It's third Friday of the month.
Yep.
And dude, thanks for.
I'll finish these stories. Yeah, we'll talk. I'll give you guys the whole rundown.
You should do some stories in your set.
Oh yeah, that's a good point. I could just mix it up. I don't have to always be singing.
You can do both.
Yeah, exactly. And eventually, I got to combine them. Tell a story with a song.
That's right.
All right.
All right. More Than Lyrics. We'll see y'all next time.
Thanks, brother.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Peace.